One thing I seek from good NFL prospects is evidence that they possess a feel for the game. If you're an inveterate number cruncher, you might scoff at the idea of validating feel for the game. It's a soft skill that makes an evaluation prone to emotional bias. You know what? They're correct. If you're not balanced with your analysis, you can like a player's feel for the game so much that you don't give enough credence to the other skills and traits that must pass muster, and you wind up overvaluing a great college player with NFL savvy who can't execute what he sees against the highest level of football athletes. But make no mistake, the application of data is also prone to emotional bias. You can fall in love with a player's metrics and ignore the role that football skills and knowledge has with leveraging that athleticism. When this happens, you wind up overvaluing a great college player with dominant physical traits whose execution is inconsistent at best against the most technically and conceptually sound football athletes playing the game today. A good evaluation process examines metrics, technical skills, conceptual knowledge, and feel for the game, and embeds them into your efforts so that they are underlying themes to your overall work. If you're detailed enough with your evaluation criteria, you can take these intangibles and transform them into advanced levels of defined performance that can help you differentiate the good athlete from the future professional. I'm Matt Waldman of the Rookie Scouting Portfolio, and welcome to the RSP Boiler Room. Boiler Room features analysis that I would share with NFL decision makers if I was asked to find a handful of plays that illustrate the talent, skills, limitations, and future potential of NFL prospects. This week's video examines TCU wide receiver Josh Doctson's feel for the game. There's a lot more that I need to see of the 6'3", 195-pound senior's work before I deliver my verdict on his NFL potential. But if the rest of the criteria that I examine meets expectations, then Doctson's feel for the game will help him develop into a quality professional. This third quarter touchdown reception displays Doctson's feel for the game in multiple ways. The receiver begins the play outside the numbers, and he's matched against a corner playing inside shade and tight to the line. The safety on this side is deep and inside the slot receiver. Understanding the alignment of this corner safety linebacker triangle on the receiver side of the field is an important facet of evaluating receiver play. How the receiver responds to this alignment tells you a lot about his knowledge of the game and also illustrates how well he can use this information to his advantage when the play breaks down. The position of the corner and safety on this triangle suggests that Doctson will face single coverage. Doctson's crisp footwork off the line of scrimmage includes a stab inside on the third step to set up an outside release with his stem. He breaks outside, makes good use of a chop move, and gains initial position on the defender. But the receiver fails to earn separation, and the quarterback is forced to roll from the pressure. Doctson's work after his break illustrates why smart improvisation is a defining factor of good football players. A good improviser understands the structure around him, and he uses his technical skills to create something that works well within the harmony of the play. Doctson knows he's working against single coverage with a cornerback giving him the outside. Because the safety's responsibilities are primarily on the inside of the field, Doctson exploits this knowledge by initially working back to the quarterback, and his decision forces the corner to follow. It sets up a spin to the outside and up the sideline. Now, many receivers would have just spun outside and up without an initial break to the quarterback, but Doctson knows he should always be baiting his defender, and it's a small thing, but it makes a huge difference. The quarterback finds Doctson streaking down the sideline and places the ball in a spot where Doctson can break under the safety for the reception. It's possible that Doctson got lucky and didn't base his adjustment on the pre-snap triangle read, but I've seen enough thus far from Doctson's game that indicates an ability to integrate what he knows about his position, his offense, and the defense into a winning effort. This isn't the only good route adjustment on the fly from Doctson. This second quarter completion and run for an 18-yard gain happens because Doctson reacts to the position of the coverage after his break on the route is designed. He begins the play outside trips right and facing a corner 8 yards off the line. The TCU receiver begins the route with a stem that sells the go route before breaking on the curl. All routes with a break are based on selling the go route. If a receiver can sell the defender on the idea that he's going deep, he can earn separation. Two fundamental methods for selling the go is to drive off the line of scrimmage with the pads over the knees and eye discipline. Receiver coach Jay Norvell says in his book Complete Wide Receiver that Al Davis coined this technique, vertical eyes. It's one of the reasons why the cornerback turns his hips and runs downfield before Doctson reaches the top of his stem. Once Doctson reaches his position, he adds a layer of nuance to the route that few college receivers think to do. He tells a little story, selling the possibility of the route breaking on a deep cross or post, and creating a story within a story that makes the defender think he's reacting to the true pass pattern only to discover he's being tricked is an example of seasoned route running. Marvin Jones, Brandon Lloyd, and Steve Smith are among the many receivers that come to mind who can tell a story within a story. Once Doctson sells the potential of the deep cross or post, he pulls the string on his opponent, pumps the arms, stops his feet, and takes a sharper break to the inside. Note the position of the defender underneath, and then how seamlessly Doctson gets level with his defender so he can attack the ball with good position. This isn't part of the route, but it's great recognition and reaction to the defense. It also sets up Doctson's run after the catch. These two plays reveal the potential for Doctson to make intelligent decisions, but it doesn't mean he's a perfect technician. This short out against a corner with inside shade and 6-yard depth leads to a first down, but it lacks the type of execution that will guarantee Doctson the same result against NFL competition. The reason is the length of the stem. Note how Doctson begins this play shy of the first down marker, and he's forced to veer out of his turn to get behind it. Veering towards the defense to get the right depth on a route makes it more difficult to shield a defender from the ball or handle impending contact. The target arrives at the spot where Doctson would have caught the ball with a longer stem. Doctson's short stem forces the receiver to turn back to the ball and make a catch while he's falling to the ground. Although the defender is far enough away from the receiver on this play, good player evaluation is always projecting the differences between college competition and the smarts and athleticism of NFL players. So let's consider what would happen through the lens of Doctson facing an NFL defender with the experience and professionalism to play this coverage tighter and anticipate the break. This stem, paired with a savvier corner, would result in Doctson attempting to catch with his chest open to the path of the defender. If the coverage at the next level is tighter, or it anticipates the break earlier, the range of results in addition to a reception could include some far worse case scenarios. The corner successfully knocking the target away, Doctson anticipating the impending target and tipping the ball into the defender's arms, or the defender jumping the break to the inside for a clean interception and a potential pick six. Noting the caliber of play in the professional ranks is a vital part of projecting the current performance of a college prospect within the context of NFL standards, because it helps you piece together the cause and effect of good technique or technique breakdowns, and it helps you apply it to your observations. If Doctson ran a longer stem that ends behind the marker, he'd sell the deep route long enough to hold the defender or force the defender to turn his hips the wrong way. The deeper stem also gives the receiver more room to break back to the ball and attack it at a depth where he's still behind the marker. It's also advantageous to attack the ball downhill because the receiver is moving away from the oncoming defender. Rather than generating momentum into the defender, the deeper stem and break allows the receiver to change directions away from his opponent, which makes his job as a ball carrier much easier. It's a small detail, but the game of inches adage that applies to the NFL is one every evaluator should take to heart. The smallest details separate the very best in the heat of competition. I'm confident that Doctson can develop more consistency with his stem. It's based on plays like the ones I showed earlier, but it's one of several fine points that can separate rookies that make an early impact and those that need a year of work. These three plays won't give you a comprehensive understanding of Doctson's NFL prospects. That's not the point of this analysis. What you should take away from this video is that Doctson has developed a feel for the game based on the techniques, concepts, and physical talents he has mastered thus far and integrated into situations that deviate from the design of the play. Doctson has the baseline skills to develop into an NFL contributor. The difference between him earning an invitation to play in the league and making a career depends on continued attention to his craft with the standards of the NFL game in mind. Thanks for watching. For even more football analysis and prospect evaluation, subscribe to the RSP Film Room on YouTube and check out my blog at mattwaldmanrsp.com.